Hello, people. Good evening. I'm Daksh. I'm the founder of Blub World magazine, and we work on the focus of finding teenagers who are doing inspiring work in their life and then sharing their work with other teenagers. So till now, we have showcased, talked to, or covered more than 300 such teens from across the world, and we are regularly on the lookout to find more children who are doing something amazing in their lives. So, and from time to time, we try to create industry white papers on school education and typically trying to find out what all innovative or new is going on in schools. So today, since the lockdown began, we actually started this series of webinars where till now, more than 400 school leaders have participated from across the world. And we're very happy to welcome all of you to the 44th episode of the Blub World Web Talks. Till now, we have completed 43 such web talks. And on 6th of June, we are going to host the 50th web talk, where we'll be inviting selected 100 principals from across the world. And the meet will be addressed by Dr. Bishwajit Saha, who is the Director for Skills for CBSE. We'll be having Dr. Ramanan Ramanathan, who is the Mission Director for Atal Innovation Mission, the Atal Tinkering Labs thing. And we'll be having the Pro Vice Chancellor of Adamas University, Kolkata, Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary in it. So it will be a prolific session, and we'll be sending you the invites. So for today, I welcome all of you once again to the Blub World Web Talks. The topic for today's discussion, or what are we here for, or on what thing do we want your opinions, your thoughts, your ideas on. So we started with a topic called No Lockdowns on Learning, where we talked to nearly 300 school leaders and we selected 96 ideas from their repository. And these 96 ideas were just published on 15th of this month, and the magazine will reach all of you in a very short while. So, and these ideas are showcased on our social media as well. And we're creating some amazing observation papers with some of the school leaders on what innovative did they do during the lockdown. And now we also started a series on where we're trying to find out how do you think school education will change once this lockdown comes to an end. And today we are here to discuss something which is typically the backbone of the whole education industry. अगर आप स्कूली शिक्षा को देखेंगे तो उसका सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट एलिमेंट इज अ टीचर. एंड वो जो टीचर है, उस टीचर का कैरेक्टर और उसका जो क्लास का पर्सोना था, उसका जो स्किल सेट था, the way you gauge the teacher or the way the teacher taught has absolutely changed since the lockdown began. Even the learner or the student has changed because we have given them the practice of one-to-one learning कि एक व्यक्ति पढ़ा रहा है, एक बच्चा पढ़ रहा है. बट वो वन टू मेनी पे जब आएगा तो बहुत सारे चेंजेस होंगे, और उन चेंजेस के साथ वो जो पूरा इकोसिस्टम बदलेगा, उसके साथ में वो टीचर भी बदलेगा. सो द टॉपिक फॉर टुडे इज नोइंग मोर अबाउट द फ्यूचर टीचर एंड एट द सेम टाइम द टीचर्स फ्यूचर. अब ये दो स्टेटमेंट्स को एक साथ लगाने का जो सिंपल सा कारण था वो ये था कि जो आप नए टीचर्स रखेंगे वो तो आपका फ्यूचर टीचर होगा. आप उसे डिफाइन कर देंगे कि हाँ भाई मेरी एचआर पॉलिसी में ऐसा ऐसा होगा एंड ऐसे मैं सिलेक्शन करूंगा. बट आपका जो अभी का टीचर है उसका भी एक फ्यूचर है, तो उसका क्या होगा और आप उसको अपलिफ्ट कैसे करेंगे. बिकॉज स्कूल के मॉडल में एक बड़ा टिपिकल सा काम होता है कि आप एक नॉर्मल इंसान को अपने पूरे इकोसिस्टम में लाते हैं एंड देन यू ट्रेन हिम और हर टू बिकम अ टीचर. और अभी वो ट्रेनिंग को बहुत फास्ट पेस में या दौड़ते भागते करना पड़ रहा है. So how do you plan to actually look onto these two aspects? The first one, the future teacher, जो कि आपकी एस्पिरेशन के हिसाब का हो सकता है, and the future of your current teacher, जिसके लिए आपको बहुत सारा एफर्ट लेना पड़ेगा. So before we actually delve into the topic, we have a special guest today with us, Charu Noheria, the co-founder for Practically app and Thirdflix. She'll show you a presentation with the exact questions or the areas जिस पे हमें आपसे आपकी राय चाहिए. तो बेसिकली पूरे टॉपिक को she'll explain it by pieces so that you're able to better grasp it and we can have better thoughts coming in from you. So over to Charu. So Charu, please explain the topic to the audience.
Thank you so much, Daksh. Thank you for inviting me. So, it's always a pleasure to meet educators around India, and now even internationally, you've been able to make a great audience for this session. So I'm really, really keen to hear all of you guys' thought. And I'll just share my screen and let's set the context for the next 30 minutes or so. So can everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as Daksh mentioned, future teacher or teacher's future, right? I mean, looking at it, it's kind of a medley of words, right? But I think at the same time, we should just be focused on the future teacher, because that is going to be the teacher's future anyway. So I really like this quote, learning is an experience, everything else is information, right? Because I think uh, what we really believe is that there is no pass and fail in learning. And there has to be a clear differentiation between learning versus studying, right? We always say ki 2 ghante padhai kar lo, right? But learning is actually 24 hours, as long as the child is awake, even in dreams. You never know. Learning is ubiquitous, it's everywhere. And that's what we believe in. And as it becomes much more experiential, right, that's when you will actually see the retention rate of the child sparking up to much more than 90%. And let's say, you play carom board, right? Only when you play it, you can read it, all the rules on Wikipedia, you can actually see somebody else playing. But the moment you play it yourself, that's when the learning actually happens, right? So experiential learning is also something that really excites us. Coming back to teachers, how teachers are going to be the new role that is going to emerge out of this current situation of COVID that we are in. uh, we've been thinking about this ourselves, right? What would be a teacher? Would the teacher be only a teacher, somebody who comes to a classroom, stands up and gives a lecture, delivers some content, delivers some homework, and come back next day and does that for the remainder of the year? Or teachers role, it's already under a flux, right? I mean, teachers are no longer the traditional teachers they used to be when especially I was growing up. So obviously there has been a shift, but this is something that we are seeing is going to be the new norm going forward. So some of the things that I've been hearing is like a teacher would be a coach, maybe a guide, a mentor, a facilitator of things. How can you facilitate rather than be active? Take a back seat, right, rather than actually driving the car. Be an innovator. And especially last few months, we have seen the best of innovation that has happened in education. I mean, schools have started using WhatsApp, Teams, Meet, Google Meet, so many other kind of tools and technologies that they never thought of using. And there's just been great innovation that has come out of this K-12 space, which was considered as a very slow moving sector in terms of technology adoption, right? Not anymore. Teachers could be enablers, they could be catalysts, in actually bringing out the best in the kids. Teacher's role could also be a counselor, right? Now, earlier, a teacher is somebody who teaches, but then there used to be counselors in schools, dedicated counselors, or parents used to actually get their kids counseled to see ki beta engineer banega ya doctor ya, whatever he is. So now, so those are the kind of counselor things probably the teachers have to actively start doing to understand the psyche, the psychology of the kids. And another new word I said, that teachers have to be entertainers also in this virtual world that is more becoming a norm now. Unless a teacher is also a very engaging teacher, a teacher has that power of delivery of content, not just content delivery, right? Like has that voice modulation, has a little bit of actor in her or himself. The engagement will not happen. The attention spans are so small in the era of instant gratification. Now it's a TikTok world, right? So you post something, you get 1,000 likes in the next minute. That's the generation we are dealing with. It's called Generation Z, right? And especially the millennials kids, they have even smaller attention spans. So when you see, this is the role play which we are seeing is going to emerge out. If this is true, the question we are asking is, how many teachers will be actually comfortable in this space? Are our teachers actually trained to be comfortable? How many teachers will actually move into this step shift, into this new position? We're keen to hear you guys on that. Some of the other questions that we've been seeing in the industry, right? We talk about lifelong learning, that teachers are going to create lifelong learning within students, inculcate this value and system in them that learning is everywhere. Don't stop learning after your degree is ended. have that curiosity inculcated in you. But what about lifelong learning for teachers? There are a lot of people who think that, yeah, teachers are always lifelong learners. It's good to preach, but think about it seriously. That we think like continued medical education, CME, right? I know that there is a word called CME. I don't know what is called for teachers who continually want to learn and grow and have skills, upskill themselves into newer things, right? So this is an area of thought where is there something we can create a space for our teachers, and would the virtual environment actually let us do that, right? Because teachers may have more bandwidth on them. If and technology and AI takes over, teacher can have some more capacity to actually focus on their own lifelong learning. The second one of the other questions is, how do we build teacher capacity? If you see in COVID world, we talk about healthcare, in terms of healthcare bed capacity or hospital capacity, but do we think about teacher capacity? The new teacher, to cater to all these kind of different children, right? Like, this is a new breed of children, if I would say. Are we prepared to handle these kind of kids? And this is an ever growing population, because countries like India, where education is now almost a right given to everyone, more students are going to be there in all these schools, right? Even the private schools. Do we have that much of teacher capacity? Do we have that much of school capacity to take this influx of all the kids, students that now want to study in better schools, now want to wear better uniforms, now have that growing population moving into middle class and upper middle class? That is one question. And the other interesting question is, are we prepared for technology replacing poor teaching? So we are all, we all know that teacher can never be replaced, right? I mean, not yesterday, not today, not day after. Teacher-student is a very holy relationship. I truly believe in personalized, personal touch of every teacher in their own classroom. I think it's very important to have that role model especially in younger age. But can technology help making this teaching better, right? How can we really help? Because content delivery is something technology can do. There are a lot of other things that technology can take off the plate of a teacher and give teacher more time to focus on their life skills and things like that. So these are some of the questions, and there is a few other things that we think about from EdTech perspective. Will COVID-19 do this to education? Whatever demonetization a couple of years did for payments, will AI help unlocking the value of actually delivering education? How do you facilitate the entrepreneurial mindset? How do you facilitate active learning in students? And are our systems currently built for not just an average learner, but also for an average teacher? And how do you provide more support and force to a great teacher who wants to support both ends of the spectrum, a student who's falling behind and a student who's ahead of the class? How do you personalize this, and how do you enhance and engage systems to help the teacher and empower her? So Daksh, over to you. Few things that came to our mind to engage the teachers here and educators here for a discussion.
Thank you, Charu. Thanks for detailing out the topic and actually putting it out in silos, that what all we need to discuss on. So before I actually give the mic to you, I'll just explain the format to you. You can all see Divya Purohit on your screen. Divya, please put your hand up. So Divya is the timekeeper. So all of you get to speak for 2 minutes. And the first 1 minute and 30 seconds, when that are over, Divya will put his one hand up. That is the time you're supposed to start concluding. And once your 2 minutes are over, he'll put his second hand up. And that will be the time that we might have to mute you. But if you get muted, please don't get offended. It is just to finish this activity on time so that none of your schedules get disturbed. And if you by chance miss anything and there's something that you were not able to speak or put in within your time, it's not a problem. The team will stay connected with you. We'll ask for your feedback. We'll ask for your observations, because your observations, whatever you have shared in earlier talks and that we'll be sharing today, we are trying to take the best ideas from those and creating a suggestive document that we are going to give to the Honorable Lok Sabha Speaker and to be pushed to the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. So whatever you want to say your ideas freely. If you miss out on anything, we'll again get connected with you. So don't be worried about that. Just try to keep it within 2 minutes so that everybody gets to speak. So we are actually trying to create a virtual roundtable. So this is an experience where we have to take care of each other and try to finish. It's kind of a race. So let's see how do we enjoy the next 20-30 minutes that are full of ideas and innovations. So to start with, let's hear it from Medin sir, who's the principal of, I suppose I'll be pronouncing that wrong, Yulin School, Kathmandu, Nepal. So Medin sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio. try to give us your introduction, and then what do you think about the topic? Rakshaji, please unmute, sir.
This is Medin Lamichhani. I am the school principal of Ulens School. Ulens is only and the first IB school in Nepal. This is really very meaningful program. You know, the COVID-19, the pandemic has made educators think, you know, outside the box. How the education was carried before, with the same knowledge and skill, it cannot be continued. So we have to come up with different skills and knowledges. Based on my experience and what I have been doing, I strongly suggest, you know, the educators have the KYC knowledge and skill. So KYC stands for Know Your Child, Know Your Curriculum, and Know Your Context. So, you know, the Know Your Child is like the teachers, they have to know students' background, you know, both cultural and economic background, and they have to know, you know, what kind of learning style does the child have, and what kind of intelligences does he possess. So without understanding the child in depth, it's really difficult to deliver instruction and prepare children for 21st century world. And knowing curriculum is like, as ma'am said earlier, so we are much focusing on, you know, the content level. So we have to come out of the content and move to concept level. If the teachers don't have, you know, the skill and ability to deliver instruction based on concept, I think it's not going to work. And the third point is like, you know, the focusing on understanding or knowing the context. So teachers are, you know, habituated to deliver instruction within the four walls of the classroom. So it's very difficult to teach beyond textbook and beyond classrooms. So, you know, so they have to understand learning environment in a different way. So learning can happen anytime and anywhere. If teachers don't understand this and equip with digital literacy, it's really difficult to move forward. So I would like to conclude with thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think the KYC acronym that you gave, that knowing the child, curriculum, and the context, I think this will actually become a very key point in the education scenario post this lockdown, because personalization of education is really going to be important, because when you'll be wearing a lot of masks in your classes, expression, intimacy, emotional connect would be a problem in each class. So knowing the child better would actually make a teacher more receptive and more conducive for a child to teach. So thank you so much, Medin sir. Let's now hear it from Kumar Thapa sir, the principal of Brihaspati Vidya Sadan, Nepal. Sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes.
So thank you very much. I'm delighted to join this discussion here. Well, not only when this COVID-19 outbreak has put us into locked doors, but even for the last couple of decades, I would say, most professions have already been put at risk. The reason is consumers now can bypass quite a few channels and get to the source on their own. Information, if that is what we call knowledge and education, is at their fingertips, nothing new. So I'd like to borrow what Charu's presentation, in her presentation, she used the mentor and catalyst, the two terms are what the teachers are going to be alive. I don't think teachers' future is at that big risk as long as they're adaptable. I can talk about my school, where most of my teachers are 20 to 30 years experienced, which would mean that they were at a very comfort level. They were not pushed to try out with new technologies, but then without having to attend face-to-face meetings, they could also learn to use these technologies, and they're doing a fantastic job at the moment for the last more than a month. Hence, I can just cite one, not a data, but then experience I have seen in terms of MOOC. If MOOC is what we consider to be replacing schools and colleges, things like edX and Coursera and Udacity that started in 2012, I strongly believe, and the data also shows, that about 15% is only the success rate. There is 85%, I wouldn't call it vacuum, but then the option for blended learning is high there. So teachers who can bring in that emotional touch, that human touch is never going to go away from this world. So teachers who can understand the child, teachers who can be that mentor and value that relationship, not knowledge, not information. You and I, you are my student, I am your teacher. Together, you and I can learn. Let's learn together. But then I am there with you for all that emotional, social needs that matter. So if this is how teachers model themselves, and if this is how they focus more on the process, more on the culture of learning, than on giving in information after information, I'm sure teachers' future is there. Otherwise, like many other professions, we've seen teachers are also going to be useless. Many students are going to be useless. So this turning from being useless to useful, the only word, in short, I can put in one word I can put is adaptable. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Adaptability is for sure going to be a very critical element now. And ये बात, one very nice thing that you quoted, that 15% का success rate on online platforms, that's actually a reality, because online content delivery हो जाती है, but regular evaluation, उसको reinforce करना, education वापस से दे देना, कोई fact miss हो जाए तो refilling करना, that is something that can actually happen at an individual level. So that's where a teacher will actually become more and more critical in the coming times. Let's now hear it from Alka Sharma, ma'am. She's the chairperson for CPS and Rockwood School in Udaipur in Rajasthan. Ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes.
So regarding future teachers, let us first peep into the past and see how were we teaching all these years. Was it not stagnant, monotonous, stale, same chalk and duster, blackboard, charts and posters? A little bit of change we brought by doing and learning, or playway method. So we used a little change by using different methodology. Otherwise, the teaching was all monotonous. And then all of a sudden, this lockdown came upon. And without meeting any of the teacher, the management people, they gave the tutorials to the teachers, and all of a sudden, within 2 months of time, our teachers, they have all learned Google Forms, taking exams, taking assignment, checking the copies online, and they are euphoric about it. They are so highly excited because it's a newfound learning they have gone through. Even their status in the eyes of their family members has increased a lot, because before this they were using their mobiles only for Facebook or WhatsApp, but now they have evaluation sheets. They are correcting the copies online. My teachers, they were so euphoric, so full of excitement that they denied taking help from any of the technical staff, and they have typed the paper for the students. So now this newfound technology has come. It is a milestone. It has created history, no doubt. This lockdown 2020, we are going to remember forever for being the milestone in the teaching pattern and deciding our future teachers. So what our future teachers are going to be like? They'll be definitely techno-savvy, digitally strong. They will be taking the classes online, and they are going to use many type of technical things which they were not using previously at all. So our teaching is going to improve a lot, no doubt about it. But then ironically, this new learning, this newfound technical support, this newfound horizon canvas is going to be the biggest competitor of our own teachers. The same thing is going to be the competitor for our teachers, and we'll have to think that why will the students would like to come to the school? Why they have to waste their so much of time using the transport to come to the school, join the assembly, and waste half of their time?
Thank you so much, ma'am. We had to mute. The time was over. We'll try to come back to you if it's possible. But yes, some very good points taken, that monotonity is something that will go out the door from schools now, because of learner-centric approach लेंगे, बच्चे को engage करेंगे, तो engagement modes अब change होने होंगे. It cannot be a lecture mode anymore. You'll have to shift a class from a lecture mode to a discussion mode. और वो discussion mode पे कैसे जाएगा and what all solutions will come into play, that's something that we all need to know, because बहुत सारी चीजें technology नहीं कर पाएगा. टेक्नोलॉजी कंटेंट सपोर्ट दे देगा, कम्युनिकेशन सपोर्ट दे देगा, बट ये जो एक्चुअल करिकुलम सपोर्ट है, दैट हैज टू कम फ्रॉम द टीचर एंड द स्कूल लीडरशिप. सो थैंक यू सो मच मैम फॉर शेयरिंग दोस थॉट्स. लेट्स नाउ हियर इट फ्रॉम डॉक्टर बलजीत कौर सेठी, प्रिंसिपल, विजडम ग्लोबल स्कूल, मेरठ, यूपी. मैम, ओवर टू यू फॉर द नेक्स्ट 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's so nice to see all of you here. And my colleagues who have spoken earlier, I could see that they have really brought up such good points in front of us. And no doubt we all know that right now this world has been struggling, but still if I compare the education line to the other lines, still we are in a relaxed mode. We are still far better than the other industries who have been struggling as of now, who are not even sure whether they'll survive or not. And as far as teachers are concerned, we would say that they have done a commendable job. The things that we were not expecting, like many teachers, they were not tech savvy. Even the teachers who have been teaching 25 years before, they were not as tech savvy as the latest teachers are. But we can see that it has not taken much time to train them. They have been doing wonderful jobs. They have been taking online classes, and what to say, not even curriculum, they have been taking all the school activities also online, which is an achievement. Like the students are collaborated. Then we can see, like as we were always saying, that the parents need to be connected with the learning. And if we see the junior grades right now, we can see most of the parents, they are sitting along with the students on daily basis. So this has definitely made a connection between the school parent body. And if I talk about teachers, they have become more concerned about their classes. Earlier the classes were inside the four walls, but now they are saying when they are teaching, they are presented, they are exposed to everyone. Anybody can see how what they are speaking. So now in the coming days, the teachers need to be more particular about what they are teaching. They need to be very, very organized in their work. They need to have good collaboration. At the same time, research skills. They need to research a lot. But I know we have seen that, so in this world, teachers have always done commendable jobs, and no other bodies as organized as teachers are. So I can see both the hands being raised up. So few things that I would immediately say is resilience, that the teachers need to develop, the collaboration skills, the research skills, and the empathy, the emotional has to be taken care of. I cannot describe, but anyways, all the best to all of us. And this industry will continue as it was continuing earlier. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Baljeet, ma'am. And I think resilience research is going to lead the way in the coming times. And teachers have actually responded very well to the situation that has actually come up. But yes, education now has become a lot more transparent, because a parent can actually come to any class and be there and actually experience the teacher himself. So the scrutiny levels of the parent has gone up. So the teacher will have to become more equipped, more planned, and much better in their own approach. Let's now hear it from I am okay. Kanchan Mary Pradhan, ma'am, who's the vice principal of Swasto Shri Gurukul, Nepal. Ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm very sorry. I'm on and off because of the network problem, but I would like to go on. What we have been experiencing at the moment is like it's the remote learning is, it's not great fit for some. We've really. Oh, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Please speak. Hello.
The remote learning, it's like the virtual learning that we are having right now. It's not all students are going to be right fit for the virtual model. That what we have been facing at the moment, it really depends on a number of factors. The most important being, can a loving adult be home with the child in order to facilitate the virtual model? Because as for the senior students, yeah, they can do everything themselves, but what about the earlier students? We have to have somebody helping them all the time. So because you cannot just leave them alone all day with a computer and the network problem, and then the teachers giving them assignments and all. So you really have to have the relationship with the child, that allows an adult to be there, and that the child will listen to. So you need to have some kind of understanding with the parent, so that they are with you in this process, because teacher alone cannot do it, because you're behind that big screen and you cannot reach out to your children. So you need to have somebody, an adult, to be there supervising all the time at home. So yes, these are some of the important experiences that we are facing at the moment. But with that, we have also come across with the benefits of virtual learning. We never had this before, so it's like, some students just don't like everything about school and isn't about learning, so they don't want to have the deal with the fire drills or safety drills, all of those unnecessary stuff that we used to have in our curriculum before. But now, since the learning has come outside the box and we are all thinking about greater ideas, creative learning, so I feel like we've come to the concept based teaching rather than content. So we are focusing on, because we have limited time, you cannot have this remote learning all day, and within this limited time you need to be very specific to the topics that you're dealing with in the classroom. So these are some of the important things. I'm sure that am I running out of time?
Yeah.
So I would like to end up with one thing that really it has mattered to us, and the most valuable message that we've taken, Swasthashri Gurukul, we've taken, is that our children are capable, they're competent, and they're creative. Personal connection matters more than content. Focus on relationship rather than curriculum, and we don't kind of replicate schools.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I think there could be a very specific observation paper, or there could be specific SOPs that should be prepared around teacher-parent coordination. Because वो एक ऐसा इशू है जो अब आगे बहुत क्रिटिकल हो जाएगा, क्योंकि पेरेंट क्लास में है, टीचर भी क्लास में है, वो पेरेंट आपको स्क्रूटनाइज कर रहा है हर समय पे. तो at this point you need to actually understand कि उसके लिए collaborative points कौन से हैं. On what points would he actually come and understand your scenario, and you'll be able to get through to him कि this is my limitation as a human being. I cannot go beyond these limits. So thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing that perspective. Let's now hear it from Praveen Dikshit, sir, the principal, GD Goenka Public School, Gwalior. So Praveen, sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, sir, Daksha, for giving this opportunity to me. First, I would like to give them one correction. Actually, I'm not in GD Goenka now. I resigned from there. Now I joined SDVM Public School. Actually, this message today only I forwarded to the ma'am coordinator, ma'am.
Okay.
Actually, okay. So yeah, come to this point. This is a very a nice topic actually, and then very challenging situation at this time, especially in although it's a very challenging position for the everyone actually in all the sectors, for all the professionals. But yes, for the teachers, it is definitely more challenging, because as the teacher's role was there, teacher is a good resource person, supporter, mentor, helping hand, learner also. Lot of qualities were there in previous time also, even in future also. But at this time, the new challenge which teachers are facing, that is basically they should be a very techno savvy. If somewhere teachers, well experienced teachers are there, but if they are not very adaptable, or if they are not very familiar with this technology and all, obviously they will suffer in future. That is basically fact. And then another thing is there, as this scenario came, now I feel that not only teacher, everyone will give the priority to the good health actually. Now this is also one more important thing, not only the teacher, even the entire staff, entire team. But in future, if we recruit any teacher, other than their skill, their experience, one thing more definitely will focus whether this teacher has a good immunity system or not, whether this teacher is physically fit or not. That is also another aspect now in these days, because this is a priority become now for the whole world. Other than money, other than profession, other than career, the main important thing, the physical fitness, that is also very important for the teachers also. And even for the future concern also, teacher definitely will face. Although basically as in school also, in a school teaching, there are three basically prior categories: the pre-primary, middle, and the senior one. Middle and senior one somewhere could be managed with this technology and all, but the most important part, that is the pre-primary sector. Those children definitely need more and more personal touch, and which is missing this technology. We should think again and again, for that matter, how we will deal with those junior kids, most junior kids. They need personal touch. Without that, everything will be fail, I feel.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Praveen, sir, for taking the focus to actually pre-primary. बिकॉज प्री प्राइमरी अब एक ऐसा सेक्शन होगा जो कि बहुत टिपिकल होगा चलाना, बिकॉज अ लॉट ऑफ पेरेंट्स विल एक्चुअली, मतलब ये स्टेटमेंट मुझे ऐसे तो नहीं बोलना चाहिए, लेकिन फिर भी आई एम जस्ट स्पीकिंग इट आउट, कि शायद पेरेंट अब प्रायोरिटाइजेशन ऐसे करेगा कि यार बच्चा जिंदा रह जाए तो पढ़ा लेंगे, बिकॉज यू डोंट नो हाउ safe or how immune will he be in the school atmosphere. तो वो पेरेंट के दिमाग में वो परसेप्शन खराब हो गया है, और टिपिकली किसी के लिए भी होगा कि भाई मैं मेरा बच्चा क्यों इतना आसानी से जल्दी से स्कूल भेज दूं, बट फॉर अ स्कूल इट्स नाउ द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि आप अब वो इम्यूनिटी हॉटस्पॉट बने, ताकि सोसाइटी, पेरेंट्स, सबको ये ट्रस्ट वापस आना शुरू हो कि नहीं. So thank you so much, Praveen sir, for taking the focus towards that. Let's now hear it from Anubha ma'am. Anubha ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes.
My salutations to the Augustus gathering, the thinking visionaries who are present today, and with my focus on Divya Purohit for the crucial role. We are right now living in one of the scenes of those science fiction movies where we don't know what is happening and the entire world is fighting together. So when I look at education, I have most of the things have already been covered by the previous speakers, but I'll share my theory of 7 R's with everyone. So I have bridged up this period and going forward, looking into the future teacher and the future of present teacher. The 7 R says the first R is research, which talks about the teacher learning. The teacher should be having the zeal to learn and to learn beyond the visible. That is one of the most important things that I see in a teacher and that I keep on training my teachers into. The second thing that I talk of is resilience to my teachers. Resilience in terms of patience, because sometimes the classrooms are really erratic. The children are talking, the visibility, the connectivity is a concern. Sometimes the parents are stepping in and intervening. So the resilience with the children, with their parents, with themselves, and also the ability of the teacher in terms of resilience to be a quick thinker and a quick decision maker, because you don't have time to go back to the principal or to the coordinator, get a feedback and come back to the parents. So that is most important. The other thing that I talk of in this present scenario is the reach out is the third R that I talk of. They should be able to reach out to the non-participative children. That is where the difference between one-to-one connect and the only technology-based teaching will make out a difference. The next fourth R that I talk of is resonate. In resonate, the teacher should be able to bring the children into their line of learning zeal. That is where the children will resonate with the teachers. And thank you, Divya. Reinvent is the fifth R. That is the mode of delivery. The content remains the same, but the curriculum has to change. That is the reinventing and redesigning the questions and the curriculum to reach the multidimensional approach. That is the sixth R. And the seventh and the final R is the parent-teacher-student relationship. That is to realign this relationship. And thank you, Divya. And over to you, Daksh.
Thank you so much, Anubha ma'am. I think that's very planned and very nicely articulated approach. Please share that approach with the team. We'll try to take it forward to a lot more schools. So let's now hear it from Radha Krishnan sir, Principal, Hillside School, Hyderabad. Sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah. Good evening to everyone. The survival of school system or the teachers, it depends upon 4 important factors. These are the keys for education. That is how we adapt to deliver intellectual, physical, emotional, and also spiritual needs of the children. How we adapt the blended learning. Now, the coming age is the age of blended learning. So how can we deliver to all these 4 aspects? What modifications we need? Those who modify and adapt will succeed. And another important aspect is emotional aspect, the emotional connect, like other speakers spoke. How the teachers succeed in establishing emotional connect, not only with the child, even with the parents, because parents are also in the classroom. Then again, to escape from monotony of using digital tools, how small activities can be brought into online learning. That is another aspect. That more than delivering content, now research and finding data from the internet should be given more importance. Children can do it themselves. If we are not able to do that, we will be simply delivering content that won't make sense. Then another important aspect, how we include assessment practices, new assessment practices. Because now paper pen test won't be there, it will be very difficult. So how we can use SurveyMonkey or Google Forms, or there are many other platforms coming up, how we can use all these platforms. Then finally, the spiritual aspect, if I say, because we are using digital tools and other things and everything. So what will happen to spirituality? Even parents are not having any prayers or anything at home, most of the parents. So how we will inculcate the spiritual act of calm down? That is another important thing we have to focus on. So I hope if teachers adapt to all these things, they can survive and they will have a great future. But technology is going to play a crucial role. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. Tech will play a role, and spirituality and emotional connect is something that humans can actually provide, and there is where our criticality comes in, or a teacher's criticality will come in the coming times. So thank you so much, sir. Let's now hear it from Dilip Kumar, sir, who is the principal CMCL Vidya Bharati School, Lamshong, Meghalaya. So, sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much. I really appreciate everybody ideas, and what I think here from my perspective in the countryside in Meghalaya, that there is no much change. Earlier we were overdosing the students in the classroom. Now we do the same thing from the sitting in front of Zoom and lecturing. So there is not such a big change. And what you told, that parent involvement, yes, what we have to do, what type of teacher we will be looking for, and what type of teaching will be, that it has to change from knowledge sharing and information sharing. We are looking for the creative bend of minds, teachers who can think out of the box, who can provide opportunity for the many activities to the children. Unfortunately, in the country, we have not been able to change the mindset. We are not ready to come out from the tunnel vision. We are insisting upon the examination, whatever the situation will be there, and we are not ready to. We think that everybody has to become either IIT, medical. So we have to come out. There are many fields, and we have to prepare them children for that. So teacher, the teaching will also change, but this technology, what you are seeing, it is not a big change. We have to go back to the school. Maybe we maintain distance. We will come alternate days. We will include these, and the government and the apex bodies, they have to include this Google Meet or Microsoft, all these things available to the school as resources. This can be resources. This can be some percentage of teaching and learning. The bond between a student and teacher, this cannot be replaced. So thank you very much. We are looking for a new type of teacher. We are looking for the new type of teaching where we have heart-to-heart relation. We cannot do yoga and assembly and learning from values through this. We have to go back to school. Thank you.
Go back to the school, because that's the vibrant place that from where students actually learn the spirit of community, the spirit of togetherness, of actually being together, being there, getting connected to humans. Because at this point, we are all disconnected and we are all actually tied up in these small screens. And we need to get out of this to actually build a much better society for the world. Let's now hear it from Syed Hamid sir from International Indian School, Hyderabad. So Hamid sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes. Rakshaji, please unmute, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Daksh. Wonderful, catchy caption, capturing, everything in 2 short sentences, the future teacher and the teacher's future. Great thing. Only a multifaceted and a multifarious, passionate person can be a teacher. Going back to Kothari, parent is the first teacher. Now parent has to own and take that responsibility. And teacher is the second parent. If teacher commits even a small mistake now using online and Zoom, all these technology, the parent is going to come and attack, and the parent and teacher, instead of having cordial relationship, they are going to find fault with each other. So blackboard has gone, green board has gone, whiteboard gone, smart board gone. Now the small screen, as you said, is with us. And emotional things, spiritual things, including yoga, all these can be taught if we properly understand blended learning. Now this is a new concept or new thing that has emerged in the teacher training program, blended learning. A part of school education, the child comes to school for a short time, maybe 2 to 3 hours, and goes home, and all digital resources are exploited, and remote learning or online learning continues. So the future of the teacher is a teacher who has sense of humor, a teacher who has excellent, effective communication only will survive. Apart from the subject knowledge, normally every teacher will have that. These kind of small catchy things that you have been bringing, Mr. Daksh, very happy. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Hamid sir. And we actually think टीचर्स की जो आप कह सकते हैं कम्युनिकेशन कैपेबिलिटीज हैं या उनकी जो मीडिया कैपेबिलिटीज हैं जो किसी एक मीडिया पर्सन में होती हैं, वो स्किल्स अब उन्हें सीखने का टाइम आ गया है. वो स्किल सेट्स अब एक टीचर में होने चाहिए, बिकॉज बच्चे को एंगेज्ड रखना वो बहुत टिपिकल है. और अब केवल एजुकेशन से काम नहीं चलेगा. राइट नाउ व्हाट यू नीड वुड बी एड्यूटेनमेंट, थोड़ा सा एजुकेशन, थोड़ा सा एंटरटेनमेंट, सो दैट द किड एक्चुअली स्टिक्स विद व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू से टू हिम. लेट्स नाउ हियर इट फ्रॉम Saima Khan ma'am. Saima ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. Unmute your audio. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Daksh. We all are aware that 157 crore students across 191 countries have been affected. So we are in a VUCA world just now. VUCA world, that's an acronym by the military army. It is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. VUCA world. But we would like as teachers to read as vision, understanding, clarity, and agility. So we must turn this fragile world into an agile world. And this is the duty of we teachers. Whatever position we are in, irrespective of that, we are teachers. So now we teachers have to re-strategize, redesign our system, and create a culture for innovations, as Daksh you've already told. And we must be prepared for such more crisis in the world, that is disaster management. So we must realize that we have to be innovative. And I want to thank Mr. Dixit for bringing up this very important pre-primary education. People actually forget that, and अगर foundation नहीं strong है, तो वो building कैसी strong रहेगी? And we all are aware that 90% of the brain development is done before kindergarten. तो pre-primary education अगर strong नहीं रहेगी, अभिमन्यु अगर पूरी education ले लेते in the mother's stomach, तो वो चक्रव्यूह से बाहर निकलना जानते. तो हम लोग ये नहीं कह सकते वो 3 साल का बच्चा छोटा है. Actually, education and learning starts taking place in a mother's womb. So we must emphasize on pre-primary education. And Mr. Dixit, I really love you for bringing up this topic. God bless you, beta. Really, God bless you. So let's emphasize from the foundation to the senior most. Thank you so much. Dev, I finished it off today. God bless.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Let's now hear it from Apu Dey, sir. The Vice Principal, Umeed International School, Abu Road. Just before Apu Dey sir speaks, I just want to highlight one very small thing. The calls that we are right now curating and the kind of invites that we are sending for each of the calls, you can actually see the whole of India on this call with the maximum diversity that we could get. अगर आप इस पूरे कॉल में जितने ही participants देखेंगे तो actually इंडिया के सारे पार्ट से हैं. तो अब हम जितने भी कॉल्स कर रहे हैं उनको हम इसी तरीके से क्यूरेट कर रहे हैं ताकि पूरे देश के हर तरफ से हमें थोड़ा आइडिएशन मिल पाए कि इफ देयर आर रीजनल डिस्क्रिपेंसीज और रीजनल डिफरेंसेस जो कि कहीं किसी को हेल्प कर रहे हैं और शायद कहीं किसी के काम में आ जाए. So I hope you enjoy the call again. So let's hear it from Apu Dey, sir. Apu sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
To the topic of future teaching and future teacher. I think most of the panelists have shared their experiences. What I feel is that future teaching will be a blend of this online teaching as well as the formal schooling, because it is very important. Nobody can neglect this formal schooling, and now everyone has seen the importance of this online. Them and how learner they are, and I give learning environment to the student as per his requirement. Future teachers need to gear them up, because they need to develop few qualities, like they have to be very good facilitator, and he has to be resourceful. He need to be very good in his subject content, and as my dear colleagues have told, that he has to be very strong in social skills also, because that is also important nowadays. If you are taking online classes or something, then you have to be very active, and he has to be techno-savvy. These are the 4 qualities I think future teachers need, and future teaching will be blend of online content, online teaching, as well as this formal schooling, because we cannot forego this formal schooling. And because in online this teaching, we found 2 important things. One is this AI assessment that helps the teachers to identify the students, and that is a technology which helps the students. If they didn't learn the concept clearly, then they go down. They give them easy questions so that they can solve it and clear their concept. And teachers also, at the same time, teachers also come to know that, yes, this few students didn't understand the concept. So that's why I am saying that it will be a blend of this online education as well as formal school.
Thank you, Apu sir, for sharing your perspective on the topic. Let's now hear it from Jamie Sudhakar, ma'am, Principal, ES Group of Schools, Villupuram, Tamil Nadu. Ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Pranam to Daksha for this wonderful Blood World forum through which we are able to meet. I would start the session like this. We are all 19th century learners. We were taught by 18th century teachers, teaching in 20th century to 21st century children. So the topic is right. Future teachers. Where are we heading towards? I would always stress that I'm an educator, than being a big principal, correspondent, CEO, all that. As an educator, what do I need? I need to transfer skill, knowledge, understanding, making my children get ready for their future, connecting them to the real world in every concept that I teach them. Today I'm going to give four, I'll put it this way, 4 mantras for every teacher to become a better teacher in future. First and foremost is planning and preparation. Always plan with the end in mind so that you'll be successful. Be a visionary. Set a vision for your class, for your school, for your concept, for your world. Wherever you are, whatever you are, be a small teacher or a big teacher. In pre-primary to higher secondary, we need to be a planner. So first is planning and preparation. First, let me just out, then I'll explain in detail if we have time. And the second one is focusing on active learning, creating learning opportunities for learners to learn in their own way. Focus on differentiation, because one size does not suit all. Every child is individual. Every child is independent. Every child is unique. So you need to plan individually with the difference. Educators must focus on differentiation in the class to address all kinds of learners. So the next is assessment. What kind of assessment do we conduct? Now everybody spoke about harnessing technology. That's why I didn't touch about technology at all. We are, of course, collaborated through this wonderful forum through technology. So how about our assessment? Is it valid? Is it reliable? Is it trustworthy? Is it fair? Are we giving feedback to the learners immediately to improve upon as soon as they finish their assessment? And also finally, evaluation. What kind of evaluation we do? The outcome of assessment tell where we are heading towards or where are we exactly. The pre-planning that we need to make is decided by the evaluation that is caused. So the four points that I given today will make the future teacher better in the days to come. Forthcoming days, I will explain everything in detail. Once again, thanks to Bluff World for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you, everybody from Nepal to Kanyakumari. Thank you very much. God bless Bluff World.
Thank you so much, Jamie, ma'am. Thank you so much for that amazingly articulated 4 points on what should people do. I just want to quote something. Just before this webinar, I was attending a webinar myself because I am a media professional, so मुझे भी अपने आप को update करना होता है. So just before this, I attended a webinar on mobile journalism. जो industry, मतलब media के लिए वो industry आगे बढ़ रही है. And mobile journalism का एक professor है Stephen Quinn. Stephen Quinn is known as the father of mobile journalism. मैं उन्हीं की वर्कशॉप अटेंड कर रहा था और उनकी वर्कशॉप में एक इंडियन प्रोफेसर भी थे. सो स्टीवन स्पोक फॉर द फर्स्ट 5-7 मिनट्स एंड वी हर्ड स्टीवन, एंड उसके बाद में फॉर द नेक्स्ट 5-7 मिनट्स वी हर्ड दैट इंडियन प्रोफेसर. बट इंडिया का एंड हमारा लोगों को देखने का परसेप्शन ऐसा है कि वी ऑलवेज फेल्ट, मतलब मुझे भी उस कॉल से एक्सपेक्टेड था कि स्टीवन जो बोलेंगे दैट विल बी वर्ड्स ऑफ गोल्ड जो मैं शायद अपने साथ ले जाऊंगा. बट व्हाट आई एक्चुअली फाउंड वाज दैट व्हाट द इंडियन प्रोफेसर एक्चुअली स्पोक दैट वाज far better. The simple reason behind it was his planning his lecture very well. उन्होंने लेक्चर बहुत अच्छे से स्ट्रक्चर किया, उसके कंटेंट्स की भी मेरी कैसी ऑडियंस है और वो ऑडियंस क्या सुनना चाहेगी, बिकॉज ऑलवेज एट एवरी टाइम ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड आपका ऑडियंस का साइकी. और अब पहले टीचिंग में इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं था क्योंकि वो केवल डायडैक्टिक थी, लेकिन अब डायडैक्टिक नहीं हो सकती, अब उसे एंगेजिंग होना है. तो जब टीचिंग को एंगेजिंग होना है तो हर टीचर को साइकोलॉजिस्ट होना है. So if you're a psychologist, you'll be able to better understand कि वो student क्या grasp करेगा, किस पे stick करेगा. So this is something that we need to understand, that planning your lecture is very more important, not just with the content, with the psyche of the student कि वो क्या सुनना चाहते हैं. So how do we package the content that we are delivering? So I hope you enjoyed these amazing ideas that came on from all across India and Nepal. So thank you so much, people. Before this call comes to an end, I would like to thank our supporter for this, Third Flix. So before this call comes to an end, let's conclude that PPT that you saw before the presentation started. So over to Manish ji. Manish ji is from Third Flix. So Manish ji, over to you for the next 3 minutes.
Thank you, Daksh, for gathering such a lovely audience from diverse, I would like to continue where Charu has left our presentation, and I'll start by playing a short video. So we all can see.
Curiosity is our most basic instinct. It fuels our desire to learn, to open pages that we otherwise wouldn't. But sometimes those pages aren't enough. So we ask, what if? What if our books come alive in front of us and let us touch things we never knew we could? What if we could learn with each other and get better together? What if our lessons were movies? Movies that we could be a part of. Presenting the world's most advanced learning app. Fuel your curiosity with Practically.
So we are essentially a technology company, and we are co-educator like you, only working in the area of catering to schools and coaching institutions, specifically for K-12 segment, and helping teachers help students visualize things with immersive and experiential content. So who we are a young insurgent brand and evangelist for limitless learning. Why limitless learning? So, we believe that, we have explorer in each of us. And we believe that conventional education actually restrict our zeal to learn. And that is why we enable teachers and students to learn beyond a limit. Our vision is to reshape the way world learns, basically. So no one has expected how COVID would turn out to be and shaken up the whole education industry. And then we work towards achieving what we believe in our vision by reimagining the way learning comes alive, by providing access to immersive and experiential content, by democratizing, limitless learning, by empowering teachers to leapfrog, by leading an ecosystem of world-class partners like, you, people like us who are democratizing limitless learning, who are bringing such innovative concepts and bringing and applying that in education ecosystem. And we are working towards, building a global brand that compels advocacy. So what essentially kind of a solution we provide to, school ecosystem? So, we provide a virtual classroom specifically designed for the education industry. We are not providing any business communication tool or software or professionally run meeting software. This is specially designed for education system, addressing many of the features which all of these schools are facing by using multiple conferencing systems like Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams. We have very huge database of question bank which helps students assess students' performance while conducting classes virtually. So we enable teacher to either assess a student in a quick 5-minute test as well as a long test as well. We provide access to a lot of content as well, which is immersive and experiential in nature. We provide ebooks, we provide simulation, we provide hands-on experience actually. We believe a student learns by way of doing themselves actually. So with this, I would end this slide, and we would welcome any of the participants' comments or queries, or if they feel that we could be of any help to the way they are conducting classes, we would be happy to contribute towards that. Thank you, Ravi.
Thank you so much. So before this talk comes to an end, as always, I would leave you with some food for thought, so that when we meet next, there's again something more interesting, more engaging, and more engrossing to actually talk about. We are right now thinking on something very innovative. That should there be a curriculum on actually teaching kids how to learn, that actually marking out the steps and making a kid understand that how does the process of learning happen, so that he's able to better evaluate what's happening in the class and which step is he experiencing in the whole learning process. So what do you think would those steps be if what we would give to those students, that how to learn? For instance, why there is a need for this? Because technology is replacing a lot of human jobs. So the biggest skill that we need on everyday basis is how do we stay adaptable? And to be adaptable, we have to teach adaptability. So how do we teach adaptability to kids? So I think you'll think on these lines, and we'll have some more amazing thoughts coming in from you in the coming talks. I hope you enjoyed the last 20-30 minutes. It was the Blub World Web Talks 44th edition. Thank you so much, people, for joining. If you enjoyed, open your audio, say a big yes, and thank you so much for being with us. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, Daksh, it was really good.